In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make Croque Madame, which is basically a ham sandwich on steroids, made by the French. So what we have right here is ham, Gruyere cheese specifically, a little bit of butter, good bread, eggs, milk and nutmeg, a few tablespoons of flour, and then some Grey Poupon. So these are the non-negotiables of your Croque Madame. You need this. If you don't have it, it's not a Croque Madame. So first off, we're gonna grate just a ton of Gruyere because this is gonna be a cheesy sandwich. The best sandwiches are typically cheesy. And so it's gonna take a little bit. But freshly ground Gruyere is really what will set this apart.
Freshly ground cheeses will just always taste better than the store-bought pre-shredded packs. So now we're just gonna start building the sandwiches, and we first do that by smattering some Grey Poupon on top of our slices of bread. So it doesn't need to be Grey Poupon. Ideally, it's just fancy mustard, not the yellow stuff. Well, I mean, I guess it's technically yellow, but not the neon yellow stuff. Yeah, and we're just gonna start building these. And now we're just gonna throw down our ham and cheese. I also sliced the ham specifically in the shape of the bread. That way there wasn't anything overhanging. You don't have to be that obsessed about it, but I mean, I don't know. I was making it for YouTube, so I wanted to make sure that it looked nice and presentable at the very least. And so yeah, just keep stacking until you run out, and this is what it came out for me. Again, you guys really need to try this if you have not, or it's just an incredible sandwich. So next we're gonna make the bechamel for our sandwiches. And so basically it's the same process as how you'd make a roux. So right now we're gonna melt down some butter first, and then we're gonna add our flour, which will allow us to actually thicken the sauce. So I'll show you how it works. Yeah, so just get that going in a small sauce pot. Once your butter is melted, we're gonna add in that flour, and then we're just gonna stir. Never stop stirring a roux, because that's how you burn a roux, essentially, or a bechamel, depending. Yeah, the key is just don't burn it here. Just keep moving it, keep stirring it. Yeah, and so the next part, we're gonna add the milk. Again, this is what's gonna actually make it a white sauce. But yeah, let it get thick and get color. Making a roux is probably the hardest part about this sandwich, and it's the most time consuming, but is what takes this sandwich to the next level. And so now we're gonna add a proportional amount of milk to our flour. I don't wanna give you measurements because, it'll be different depending on various different things such as fat percentage of your milk, etc. So ideally you just wanna look for consistencies when you're cooking, and that's what I found too. So yeah, stirring vigorously here because you don't want to scorch the milk either, because that'll make it taste funny. So yeah, we're gonna put that on high because the heat will actually help thicken it. Again, the key, just keep stirring. This should take anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes as far as the actual time versus the cuts and editing time. But again, leaving it on the heat will help thicken it again. So we're just trying to get it to that gravy consistency. And this is where we'll add in our nutmeg. Nutmeg really brings out flavor in white sauces. It just, it adds a nice, nutty sweetness to it. It's hard to explain, but I highly suggest you try it. And then we're also gonna throw in some salt too for seasoning. So this is about the consistency you do want it at. If your roux is too thick, just add milk to make it more liquid. All right, now we're gonna actually brown the sandwiches as well, now that we have our roux ready to go. You can keep that either on low or off heat, up to you. But yeah, just make it how you'd make a grilled cheese. Let the cheese melt and let the bread get brown. is what it should look like after a little bit. I'm sure you've all seen a toasted sandwich before if you're watching this type of YouTube video, because now you're probably way out of the algorithm's reach. But now we're gonna throw this onto a sheet pan and we're gonna throw it in the oven. But before we do that, we're gonna add our roux and cheese on top. This is what's gonna, again, just make this a messy, delicious, fatty sandwich. And you wanna spread it all around the sandwich. But yeah, really coat it in that sauce. Yeah, and you can spread it down. So this will actually brown once it's in the oven as well, which again creates more flavor than just ham cheese. Yeah, and you want to make sure you get the sides too, because like think of it like you're painting the side of a wall or something. But yeah, now we're gonna top it with our additional cheese. Again, this is just a really caloric sandwich. You might not be eating dinner if you're making this for lunch, but all worth it. And so now that it's in the oven, we're just gonna broil the top of it till it's golden brown on the top. Yeah, and I'll show you at various stages of the process what it looks like and when to take it out. Ideally, you want to take it out before burning. But we're also gonna crack 2 eggs to make our croque madame. So that's what makes a croque madame. A croque madame is defined by its egg, whereas a croque monsignor would just be a ham cheese sandwich. And this is when I took out mine, when it reached this stage of color. And it was delicious. Look at all that cheese. I'm also gonna chop some chives again just to give you some freshness. I feel like with really fatty things, having a nice onion kick or acidic kick will really help bring out all the other flavors. And so now we're gonna top it with our fried eggs. I don't know why I'm using a fish spatula. I just think it was probably what was in the cabinet. But yeah, top it with your eggs, and then you can top it with the chives. And this is what a croque madame is all about. Getting all of this mixed with the egg yolk, and just it's the best type of lunch. But you're gonna need a nap after. It's just the reality of eating fatty, gross things. So make the chives rain. Yep, that's how the yolk should look. Perfectly yellow. That's yummy. I tried to do a cross section here, but I kind of suck at it, so don't get mad at me. But it still tasted really good. Alright, thanks for watching this video, guys. Check out my other ones if you are interested in other cooking and my ugly film work.